So great catching up with Azamat Murzakanov. He's got a big fight coming up here against Paulo Costa, UFC 327, April 11th. Azamat, how are you, sir?
Все нормально, спасибо.
All is good. Thank you so much.
Well, that's good to hear. And tell me your reaction when you found out that Paulo Costa was your opponent, because I think to a lot of us, it was a surprise.
Ну, в принципе, мы не ожидали, что дадут его, но когда мы узнали эту информацию, мы не против были. Мы не против, потому что все знают, кто такой Пауло Коста, на что он способен. Он довольно такой серьезный оппонент, поэтому мы сразу же взяли оппонента.
To be honest with you, we didn't expect this, of course. But when they did offer, we gladly accepted because, first of all, a lot of people know about him. He's a known fighter. Plus, he's a serious fighter. He's a good fighter. So we gladly took the offer.
Were there any other opponents offered as well, or was it just Paulo Costa?
Не, в тот момент предложения были, и другие предложения тоже были, но это уже в прошлом. У нас есть сейчас оппонент, поэтому что о прошлом что говорить?
Yeah, there's some offers, but nothing was like a solid, and also it's past, so why talk about the past? Now we have this guy in front of us, so we have to really settle with him.
Yeah, for sure. No, I was just wondering because I know sometimes that you can go through different opponents, which makes sense. How much notice did you get for this fight? It looked like you got a full training camp.
Ну, мы это узнали за 3 месяца, да. За 3 месяца узнали и сразу же после подтверждения сразу же начали тренироваться. Вроде бы все идет по плану, по распорядку, да. Мы довольны.
About 3 months leading to the fight. So 3 months is good enough, and we were as soon as it got confirmed the fight, we start training, preparing for the fight. So everything seems going well, and so far so good.
Good to hear. How do you feel like your style matches up against Paulo's in this fight?
Ну, во-первых, наши стили, я думаю, вообще другие. Но я не знаю, посмотрим. Мне нравится, как он ведет свой бой, поэтому я больше чем уверен, если он также будет драться, как и в предыдущих своих боях, у нас будет очень такой хороший бой.
Yeah, we probably different fighting styles we have, him and me, myself, and but I like his style of fighting. I like his style of fighting, and I think he fights good. He puts a lot of volume output and exciting fighter. So if he shows up for this fight with the same intention as his past fights, I think we'll deliver a very exciting fight for the fans.
Paulo Costa has only been finished once in the UFC, and that was a couple years ago against Ciryl Adesanya. He's proven to be pretty durable. Does that change your game plan a bit, just knowing that he's tough to finish?
У меня и предыдущих оппонентах у них тоже было есть этих Ну, у меня, это, об этом я вообще не думаю. У меня были моменты, у кого это впервые были соперники, поэтому посмотрим.
You know, to be honest with you, I don't think about this, and just from my experience in the past, I had guys that were never finished it, or some of them were undefeated, and they had to deal with the first loss. But we'll see what happens.
And I know for your training camp, you've split some time back home in Russia and then also in New Jersey. Who have you mainly had a chance to work with as far as training partners?
Ну, с разными спортсменами я тренируюсь. Мы иногда ездим в другие залы. Вот ребята тоже приезжают, много ребят в наш зал. Поэтому насчет этого проблем нету.
Yeah, we're training with some different guys. We have all the MMA guys that come to us. We go to them in the neighboring gyms. We have a lot of training partners in New Jersey, so we're all good.
What's your prediction for April 11th? How do you see the fight playing out?
Ну, вы сами знаете ответ, как это все пройдет. Поэтому, как я и ранее сказал, если Коста там готовится к войне, то скоро будет война в октагоне.
As you know my answer, as I was mentioning before in my tweets and everything, and if Costa is getting ready for a war, we shall have the war in the cage.
Только пускай сдержит свое слово.
The only thing, like a man, let him keep his word to show up to the fight, not to bail. Like, let him keep his word that he will show up to the event, like a man.
Yes, that makes sense. Are you worried that he might not show up for the fight?
Нет, я не переживаю, я не думаю об этом. Но вряд ли такое произойдет. Я не хочу в это верить. Мне кажется, это его последнее предупреждение, поэтому он все сделает, чтобы выйти на этот бой.
Honestly, I don't think about this too much. I don't worry about that, of course. But I believe he will still show up. He will, as he promised. Otherwise, you know, he bailed from so many fights. You know, it might be consequences if he doesn't fight. You know, hopefully he will be there, most likely.
The main event of your card is for the title in your weight class. It's Jiri Prochazka and Carlos Ulberg. I was just curious who you think wins that fight.
Ну, я думаю, мне кажется, 50-50 будет. В первых раундах выиграет Улберг. В последних раундах Prochazka, поэтому 50-50 мое мнение.
My opinion on this fight is like 50-50. It could go either way. But I think early in the fight, first rounds, Ulberg probably will have more advantage. He will take the points. And if he drags to the later rounds, Prochazka most likely will win.
Okay. I like that assessment. Has the UFC told you at all that if something happens in the main event that you would step in to fight for the title? Because I would have to think you're pretty close to a title shot.
Ну, разговоры были устно, да, но официального такого предложения не было, но есть разговоры такие.
Yes, there was mentioning like that, but it was all like a verbal conversation, nothing contractual or official.
Okay.
But,
well,
you know.
Yeah, well, no, that's good though. I would assume so because you're obviously you have a great record. You're undefeated. I would think if anything did happen, you would get that first call. If that did happen, I'm assuming the answer is yes. But if you got the opportunity, if something happened in the main event, you would be willing to step in and take that title fight.
Это все, что мы делаем, делается для этого, чтобы выйти и подраться за пояс.
Yeah, of course I will step in and just with the heartbeat, we just take it. Of course, everything we do, and we do for that gold, for that title, for that belt. So, of course, I will step in right away.
And do you believe if you defeat Paulo Costa that you will be next for the title after this?
Ну, я бы хотел, конечно, этого. Я думаю об этом. И, как я сказал, разговоры были, но пока только в устном виде, поэтому у меня сейчас впереди бой, как закончится мой бой, конечно, мы обо всем будем уже дальше обговаривать дальнейших.
Yeah, I think so. I think I would love that. You know, again, that's the reason we do all this is for that belt. For the final end game is the become a champion of UFC. But right now we focused on this fight, and we'll see what happens. Hopefully, we'll get the W, and we'll be ready for it.
There's been some talk about Khamzat Chimaev moving up to your weight class in the future. How do you think he would do in that weight class, Khamzat Chimaev?
Ну, это разговоры только были. Ничего официального не было. Поэтому говорить можно что угодно. То, что было бы, если бы он перешел, это, я не могу сказать.
Honestly, this was just kind of like just words, nothing official. That he would be in 205 and stuff, and also it's hard for me to say how he would manage there in that weight class. Honestly,
okay,
hard for me to say because I never seen him there before, fighting with the light heavyweight guy. So it's hard for me to talk about it.
That's fair. And obviously he's fighting close to where you are in New Jersey against Sean Strickland in a few months. How do you think he'll do in that fight? Do you think he'll defeat Sean Strickland?
Ну, я думаю, мне кажется, он защитит свой пояс успешно. А так насчет Стрикленда тоже такой, неординарный боец. Возможно, его защита будет чуть тяжелее, но он, мне кажется, все равно выиграет у него.
I believe still he will defend his title, Chimaev, in that fight. Although Strickland is very durable and tough opponent, but Khamzat probably will have harder opponent. But nonetheless, Khamzat will still defend the belt.
And I just have one more fight I wanted to ask you about. Alex Pereira used to be in your weight class. He's moving up to fight Ciryl Gane. How do you think he'll do in that heavyweight title fight for the interim title?
Ну, здесь тоже мое мнение 50/50, потому что мне кажется, Ган стилистически неудобный для Перейры, поэтому, 50/50.
I still think this fight also is 50-50 chances. It could go either way because of the style. I think stylistically, it's harder opponent for Pereira, Gane, because he's big and he moves, he strikes. So it's very hard to predict this one as well. It's not going to be that easy fight for Pereira.
It's going to be a great fight. Azamat, thank you so much for the time. We're looking forward to it. It is UFC 327, April 11th. If there's anyone you'd like to thank before we get out of here, any sponsors or any social media you would like to mention, I will give you the last word.
Болельщиков, которые смотрят, наблюдают, поддерживают. Спасибо им большое. Это на самом деле дает много сил. Поэтому всем спасибо.
Yeah, I would like to thank all my fans that are supporting me. I'm receiving messages from. Thank you so much. All those words, messages really push me and motivate me. So I really appreciate you guys. Thank you.